Welcome back to another episode of The Zone Presents. I have Boston Dumas in studio once again, buddy. How you doing?
Doing great.
Good to have you back on, brother.
Thanks, you. Good to be back.
I'm excited for this one because we talk about breakoffs.
Yep.
Let's go. All right, so Boston, last time I had you in here, we got a great story about your past, your history, how you had that gnarly scar, and what makes you tick. But what has happened since you were last here is we had a breakoff, baby.
We did have a break.
We did. So talk about the couple weeks preceding or leading up to, the conversation of breakoffs, because I think a lot of people at home, that are listening to this in their shoes, trying to grow, they want to know how you can, really set the tone, break off, and start building your own team.
Yep. So really, it doesn't start from the couple of weeks. It started really the day we got out here.
Okay.
In January, we always had a vision that we're going to have our own office and be the best office. And so we've always worked towards it. Leading up to it, we got a lot more recruits out. And we sat down with Nick Alselmo, the manager of O1 where we were at, and just had a meeting with him. We're like, what do we need to do to break off? And he's like, what do we need to do in your office to get it to where we can break off? And he said, just work on you guys, focus on you, recruit. Austin Beezer, recruit. It's all about recruiting. So we put focus towards that and got a couple more of our boys out here. And then after that, once we were getting everyone paid and everyone's starting to get the sales in and everyone's getting dialed, then we realized it was time to split off. So
yeah, we've talked about this formula for a couple of years now. Judd is he's really stuck to the T of what really is going to make a breakoff successful. Because a lot of times people do crazy good work and they're ready for a breakoff, or they think they are, and we break them off. And then what happens is they end up back in that office they came from 6-8 weeks later because they didn't have that right foundation enough to get to that next level to really have consistent. Because once you go to a new market, there's always a dip in production and income. And, it's a new market. You have to deal with the woes of the new market, So it's one of those things. So anyway, so now you guys have done that. You've gotten prepared for it. You manifest it. You envisioned it. You have the recruits that are in it. And so what has happened since then?
My responsibilities.
Yeah. What's your day-to-day schedule now compared to what?
I mean, it's sort of the same. I'm still in the gym. Like first thing in the morning, right when I wake up, 8 a.m. I'm in the gym, and I make sure it's a non-negotiable with my team. We're all in the gym together. And so that's a big principle for us because we just see it all the time. Like I've had people that come out and they're the ones that don't go to the gym that end up going home. So it's just a true testament. All the people that I have right now under me go to the gym consistently every single day. It's about eating that frog in the morning. And a lot of people hate waking up in the morning, hate going to the gym, especially being in solar where the meeting's at 2:00 or later in the day, whenever.
Yeah.
You got to get that frog eaten.
Those bad habits at night that we stay up late, and then explain the frog, because I think some people might not know what that means.
I can't remember what book it is, and I think it's Brian Tracy says that. I'm not too sure about that, but basically, you got to tackle your biggest or hardest thing you do in the day. That way, it sets up your day, the rest of your day, to be easier. And so, for a lot of people, it's waking up in the morning. So if you get up early, that's really hard to do for some people. Mm-hmm. You do the hardest thing, and then when you go out in the field and you're knocking a door, it's not so hard.
Yep.
You're not in your head. So really eating or doing the hard things first when you first wake up.
I love that. It's funny because you said, we go to the gym as a team. And, I just, in the past, last couple of months, I watched the movie The Redeem Team with Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, a Netflix special. And basically what it talks about is, our USA basketball team for a small period of time in the early 2000s didn't win the gold medal 2 years, 2 consecutive Olympic Games, and we're the NBA. We have all the best players in the whole world come to play in the NBA, so how come the USA team can't win? And what happened was when Kobe joined the team the year that they did win, after going 2 consecutive years without winning, they all started going to the gym together every single day. They did everything together as one to become a unit, become a team. And they always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go long and far, you go together.
Right.
And so it says a lot about that foundation that you put in line. And so shout out to you guys over there doing it. But also, if you're listening at home and you're not getting the results you want, here's a good little way to get yourself started.
Yes, sir.
Get a buddy, get in the gym, get your morning started.
Another thing real quick is just being intentional with things we do. Mm-hmm. Like yesterday, we do So on our week, we do like things each week after the doors because we all live in the same house. So like Monday, for an example, was Mastery Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked about having a vision or manifestation. And basically everything I have now is I manifested it 6 years ago, or when the times were tough and I was praying about these things, the things I used to pray about are what happening now in my life. So it's like, no matter if your life's hard now, it's like, just think back, those are the times you used to pray on, or that's what you used to manifest, and you're here now. So that helps a lot.
You're a visionary guy, huh?
Absolutely.
Do you like a big vision board or a journal that you wrote in?
Yep. I actually talked about it last night with my team. My first time envisioning it, I was in a hockey tournament in like 4th grade. Before the game, my dad sat me down. I was like, envision yourself scoring and envision yourself winning.
Wow.
And so ever since then, I've always envisioned it. And then growing up in an athletic background, you're of course you can envision
I'm
stuff.
sitting here in awe a little bit. You don't know if you see it, because here's what's wild is you guys help me too in my life, believe it or not. You know, I have guys come on here and tell me what made them remember things in their life when they were a kid. I'm a father of 3 now, and I have 3 boys. And so you tell me this stuff, it's like my words have impacts. Your father had an impact on your life in 4th grade.
Yep.
That stuck with you, and now you're in your mid-20s, you know, running a new and upcoming successful office.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to your pops.
Shout out Papa Dylan.
Yeah, that's a big deal, and thanks for giving me a little life lesson as well, because you never know you're gonna learn things.
Yes, sir.
That's really cool. So then now the team is assembled. We're running a good schedule. We're gonna be approaching the holidays coming up.
Yep.
You told me something really cool off camera about the 12 days. You want to go over that with?
Yeah, it was just something I didn't even really think about, and I don't expect my office or my members to do it. It's just something I want to do for myself, because through solar I have the means to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just this little idea, 12 days of Christmas. So 12th of December to the 24th of December, anytime I go to eat or whatever, I'm going to pay for the person behind me, or just help somebody, maybe help a single mom with Christmas, do whatever I can to give my service.
Oh, this is exactly why we do this.
Exactly.
No one sees it, but I have goosebumps. I just think that we're doing like the Lord's work in a way.
Absolutely.
I know it sounds like cliche and stuff, but it's like, I think sometimes what's wild about what we created here, and that's why I'm glad to have you on here again, is because, you know, we got a chance to hear your past and everything last time. Now we get a chance to see what the fruits have come to fruition, and now what you're doing with the fruits. Because a lot of times, especially, you know, guys that are money hungry or driven for money, they don't see the giving, the tithing, the stuff that goes a long way on your personal development and growth, just because, you know, there's someone looking down at you and making sure, you know, you're in line too.
Yep.
And who knows, you know, I ever been into the gas station or Dunkin' Donuts or one of the lines, you know, fast food lines, where someone pays for that person, then the next guy pays the next person, all of a sudden
it's a chain effect.
Right? And then all those people, and I don't know if it's a stat, but I guarantee Cal Berkeley did this. They say that everyone that does that feels better about themselves for doing it. And so it's something that's very uplifting. And it says a lot about you, brother.
Appreciate that.
So then I'll add to this, if you don't mind, charity giveaways, or maybe run a Secret Santa for you know, underprivileged kids.
Yep.
And I'd love to see the pictures, and we put them on there, and we can share it and go forward. Very cool. All right. So before we wrap up, because again, I want to make sure that we are very clear on these goals for the future, because the season's gonna end pretty fast, and then we're gonna go into New Year 2024. So I kind of wrap up. Tell me what 2024 is gonna look like for you and the team.
It's a big year. We got to get our office now established a little more. We're planning on our goal is to have 21 recruits on top of what we already have going into January. And then by like April or March, branch off into another office.
You're one of those guys that envisions it, and I know you're going to get it.
Yep. If you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your hand. So
who taught you that?
I don't know.
No?
I couldn't recall it. So.
I'll say it's your dad.
Somewhere out in the internet.
Nice.
I heard it. But
well, what are you reading right now? What are you doing to help self-development?
I'm really not reading. It's really hard for me to read. I do audiobooks. David Goggins, my guy. You Can't Hurt Me. That I always turn back to that book. But it's more so just knowing that I'm greater, that I have a greater responsibility now that I have people under me, and now that I have the means to maybe give back, and then just listening to like solar sales videos or just sales videos, and just always being a student of the game. Like never stop learning. I know I should be reading, We actually talked about doing a book club in our office. I think that's going to help everyone level up. So
I'm not a reader either, Boston.
it's hard.
I just, when you have ADD and ADHD, it's hard to focus on all the pages. It's just all those words. Unfortunately, if you're like me, and I'm dyslexic, so I have a lot of problems here. But I always go to the bottom of the page. So for me, when podcasts became, even audio books to me, that's when I started getting better mentally. And obviously, even back then when my team started growing is when I was personally working on myself. And those helped a lot. So if you struggle with reading like we do, get a podcast, get somebody to listen to. David Goggins will push the heck out of you.
Oh, yeah. Andy Elliott's group. Andy Elliott's my guy, dude. I love him. He has one of his guys has a podcast called The Young Closers.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Anytime we're driving out the area, we always put it on for the team instead of listening to music. So
well, that's good. Good. Put it good in, good out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Cool, man. Any shout outs before you roll out of here?
The Utah boys again. They keep me in it. They push me to be better. Got to shout out Mama and Papa. They got me here. So
yeah. Shout out Ogden, right?
OG Dan, baby. Let's go. 801.
Well, hey, Boston, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it, man. Great to see you breaking off and starting a new office, and those goals are huge, man. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the leaderboard.
Yep.
All right, guys, Boston Dumas.